So, what are we gonna do tonight, O.C.G?
Why, same thing we try to do every night, Belgium. Take over the world. I mean, Twitch. Take over Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant / Bucktotem Bertram, and this is my review for 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rimming. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. That's much more appropriate. So, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim was released in 2020 and comes to us from the good chaps at Vanillaware. And I have to be honest with you, dear viewer, prior to this I have always found their games to be rather... vanilla? Yes, that was the best line I could come up with there. Though, their previous game, Dragon's Crown, was a feast for the eyes and for the crotch. There were lots of scantily clad women in that game, and the breasts, oh my gosh, the breasts! They were heaving! It's a pretty game. I should have just said that. So, what is 13 Sentinels blah blah? I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. 13 Sentinels is... well, I'm not quite sure how to summarize the plot. Let's see. Well, there's mechs, time travel, kaiju, schoolgirls, other dimensions, sexy female teachers. So, all in all, just an average week in Japan by the sounds of it. All this game needed was a couple of animatronic sex dolls to make it truly, authentically Japanese. Now, this game is essentially Persona meets Pacific Rim. Where? I don't know. It's a figure of speech. It's not like Persona bumps into Pacific Rim in the pub. Well, hello there, old sport. I am Persona. Oh, hello there, old bean. I am Pacific Rim. No, I'm just saying that this game reminds me of Persona and... Never mind. Moving swiftly on. In a nutshell, this game is both an RPG and a visual novel. What? What is a visual novel? Well, I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. It's like a novel with pictures. A lot of pictures. A large amount of pictures. A gargantuan amount of... Basically, it's like watching a movie that you can interact with. I should have just said that. So, in this, we play as 13 different characters at various points in time, as they have to prepare for an apocalyptic event by fighting in giant mechs. Oh, turns out I can summarize the plot. Moving on. So, it's essentially 13 intertwining stories. Now, I understand the number 13 might be unlucky for some, especially if you have a lack of free time due to masturbating, fornicating, defecating, procrastinating. This game is long. I should have just said that. Now, this game is very heavily inspired by science fiction and films such as The Terminator. And no, before you ask, that does not mean that Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever, is in the game. More so that the game takes certain inspiration from the Terminator and Terminator 2. What? What's that, Mother? Lunch? Oh, excuse me, dear viewer. I'll be back. I'll be back. Because of the moving on. Now, all this game needs is a cheesy voiceover to make it the ultimate 80s sci-fi movie experience. They must travel 4 seconds into the future to forget their present and set fire to the past. Only then can they make history. 13 Sentinels. Aegis rimming. I mean, never mind. Oh, something I forgot to mention. When the characters themselves are inside their respective mechs, they are completely naked. I bet R2-D2 never got this much action in Star Wars. And that joke will lead me nicely into, as much as I love this game, I dare not admit it out loud. This game, you see, having been Japanese, is complete and absolute filth. And no, that does not mean that the disc is dirty. The game itself is filth. Evidence? Well, apart from the naked characters in the mechs, there is also a robot called BJ. Yes. When the characters themselves become embarrassed, their cheeks become an unsightly bright red color. Yes. The nurse character in the game is equipped with bazookas so large that if Hitler had command of them, he would have won the bloody war. And one of the female characters, declares that she loves a boy. Filth! I jest. I absolutely love this game, and I have found a word that sums up my thoughts perfectly. Fuckery. And no, before you start writing to your psychiatrists, I am not being lewd. Fuckery means F for fantastic story, U for unique, C for captivating characters, K for killer plot twists, E for emotional, R for really good combat, and Y for yes, you must buy it now. Therefore, I am going to give 13 Sentinels blah blah a 9 out of 10. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my review for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. Remember to hit that like and subscribe and bell thing on this YouTube channel. Feel free to check out my Twitch channel, which is bloody hilarious. But remember, the single most important thing, dear viewer, is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Yes.
biometric ID scanned.